Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is Joyce, and in today's episode I'll be showing you how I prepare my beef samosas. In this video I will divide it into two, whereby in one part I'll be showing you how I prepare the filling, and the next part I'll be showing you how I prepare the pockets. Then after, we also have the crackers. Who doesn't like to have fun with food? So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to this video, kindly do, to be able to get new videos. These are the ingredients. First of all, we start with the minced meat. I've already pre-boiled it, but if you choose not to pre-boil, it's fine. Onions, a handful of onions. I've used like 2 large onions. I have cooking oil that I'll use to fry the onions with, at least. Then we have garlic. I've used 2 cloves of garlic. You can use extra if you want. And I have 2 beef cubes, that is to add in the flavor into the filling. So let's start with the cooking. We'll pour some little oil on the pan, at least to let it heat before we add in the onions. This is the time that we'll now add in the onions that are already cut into small pieces. As we continue stirring to ensure that the onions cook well and soften. Do not allow the onions to burn. We just want them to be soft. Then we'll add in the crushed garlic that I had prepared earlier. As we continue stirring, ensure that the mixture of garlic and onions is well incorporated. As we continue cooking to avoid the onions from burning, this is the time that we'll now add in the pre-boiled minced beef that I had prepared. It's not a must for you to pre-boil. You can just prepare the beef even without boiling, but for me I opted to boil it. At this time we'll crush in the beef cubes. For me, I chose beef cubes, but if you don't like beef cubes, you can just add in any other spice of your choice. We'll continue stirring to ensure that all the mixture is incorporated and everything is well mixed in it. So let's go direct to the next step. Next step, samosa pockets. We'll need, these are the ingredients. We'll need the all-purpose flour. We'll need water. You can use lukewarm water or cold water, the one that you like. We'll need oil. We'll also need salt, just according to your taste. We'll also need the baking powder. The baking powder is to make the pockets, when you have deep fried, to be crunchy, but it is optional. You don't have to add it. So I'm checking the temperature. That's when I'll add in the baking powder. I'll incorporate the flour with the baking powder. Then I'll add in salt to my taste. If you don't want to add the salt direct, you can just stir it in the water. That's when you'll start kneading the flour. I'll mix the ingredients together. Now it's the time that I'm supposed to start kneading the flour. Remember, this dough should not be soft, neither hard. It should be in the middle, because remember, the pockets that you are making, the process that we'll be using to make these pockets might be a little bit tough or hard to others. So according to how you make your flour, this is how I'm doing it. Knead your flour. I've put it on the surface, at least to ensure that I knead it well to remove the lumps. I'll put some oil on the surface as I continue kneading, at least to make it to be smooth. This is the time that I'll cover my dough with a cling film, at least, and put it aside for about 5 to 10 minutes for it to be a little bit soft, for it to rest, I'll put it aside and wait for the next step. The dough is ready for the next step. We'll continue checking the video. As you can see what I'm doing right now. I'll put on the music as we check what will happen next. The rest of the steps are easier, so you can follow them. Thank you so much. The remaining pieces that I did not use to make the pockets, I won't be throwing them away. Instead, I'll wrap them carefully into a cling film paper, or if you don't have a cling film paper, you can put them in a plastic bag, then store them in an airtight container. You can keep them safely in a freezer for future use. You can store it in the freezer for like a month and use it to the next time that you want to make samosas. Our samosas are ready, and now a few pieces that were remaining, I'm cutting some pieces that I'll use to make wheat crackers. Those are my favorites. I'll be showing you at the end after I've finished deep frying the samosas. Here are our samosas ready to be deep fried. I'm checking if the oil is hot, and as you can see, it is hot. We'll put in one samosa after another, being very careful to avoid the oil from jumping or spilling to someone. You know, hot oil is dangerous. I'm trying to create space for one more samosa. As you can see, I'm turning at least to ensure that it does not burn on one side. Kindly cook your samosas to your desired color, at least the color that when you look at it, it will make you feel like you want to eat that samosa. And it's yummy, I can say. That color, it's really welcoming. So I'm still checking and turning to ensure that all the sides are well cooked on both sides. And when you check into the oil, you can see that the beef or the filling that we used is not coming out of the samosa, and our samosas are ready. I'm removing them from the hot oil carefully to avoid being burnt, and they are really looking good for real. This is so appetizing. This is so appetizing. So we'll continue with the rest of the batch that we have. Right now, I'll be cooking my wheat crackers, which are my favorites. After every end of cooking of samosas, I'll have to cook that. Here are our samosas ready served with a piece of lemon and my crackers ready to munch them.